What's up, guys? I'm Travis, and you're watching Upgraded RC. So check it out, everyone. I scored an Axial RR10 bomber. What does the RR mean? I'm pretty sure it means rock racer, but it could also mean race ready. We're gonna call it ready to rock because I'm going to go out and rock the hell out of this in the rocks. Now guys, this is pretty fitting the way that I've got it set up here. My Gladiator here comes stock out of the box, does about 11. We've got it geared down and some stuff now to do about 6. So this is a really good crawler. And then our eRevo here comes stock out of the box doing about 50, 55. I've probably got it geared up to about 60 now. This is great for jumping and bashing. This is awesome for crawling. This one is right in the center. Our Rock Racer is right in the center here. It is the best of both worlds. This will crawl, this will bash, it'll do little jumps, but whereas this one's about 6 right now and this one's about 60, this one, depending on the battery you put in here, it's probably safe to say you're going to get about 20, 25 out of this one. So this Rock Racer comes in 2 different versions. If you get the blue model, you're going to get the King coilover suspension and the BF Goodwrench Baja TA tires. If you get the gray Savvy version, which is what we got, you're going to get the Fox coilover suspension and the Falcon Wild Peak MT tires. So looking at our box here, let's go over a couple of the features. Number 1, this comes stock with AR60s, offset pumpkin axles. Now these are a little bit bigger and a little bit tougher than the previous versions we've seen for the AR44 and AR45. You'll also notice here, it doesn't matter which version of tire you get, they're going to come 2.2 wide and 5.5 tall. Now the BF Goodwrench Baja TAs are a little bit more of a trail tire, and this might be pretty good on some of the rocks, whereas the Falcon Wild Peak MT tire is more for the mud and has great clean out. I bet this will do pretty good on the rocks too. You'll also notice here, this comes stock with front and rear LED lights included. They run right off your ESC, so that's pretty nice. And then you've got your aluminum shocks here. Now, I don't think it matters if you got the King coilover shocks or the Fox coilover shocks. I think the only difference there, guys, is the color and maybe the writing on them. That's probably about it. Other than that, they are an aluminum bodied shock. You can change the oil in them, you can change the piston in them, you can change the spring rates on them. So these are a fully adjustable shock. They're all aluminum, that is great. And then they've got your HD, which is your heavy duty wild bore drive shafts. Now these work pretty good. I've got them in my Gladiator and a couple of other models. I've had 0 problems with these. These are really a really good drive shaft. So why change it? You know, it worked good on everything else, just leave it alone and put that in there. So if we flip our box over here, we're going to go ahead and talk about the electronics that this comes with. So it's got your standard DX3 transmitter here made by Spectrum. If you guys aren't familiar with this, if you run the Spectrum smart batteries, it has 4 little LEDs here which will tell you a number of things. This will tell you your battery voltage. There's all kinds of telemetry that goes into this if you're interested in that. It also is going to come stock with your Dynamite AE 5L ESC. This has a great drag brake on it. I've used them before. They're pretty good. You can see the leads coming right off here for your wires. So you just, for your lights, I'm sorry, you just plug your lights right into these leads here, and that's pretty much it. And then it comes stock with your S614 servo. This has 201 ounces of pull. This is the same servo I have stock in my Gladiator. I've been running it for almost a year now. I've had 0 problems with this. I'm getting ready to go to some bigger tires, so I think we'll probably be dropping in a raw 500 reef servo, and I'll probably end up doing the same to this, just so I've got a little bit more pull. But this is a great servo. I've had 0 problems with it, and it does come with a metal servo horn, so you won't have to worry about breaking that right away. And then it's got your Spectrum SR315 receiver. So this is a 3-channel receiver. Now you can upgrade this to a 5 or a 6-channel. We just put an SR515 in the Gladiator. Works great. This is exactly the same platform, only 2 channels less. You do have your high and low transmission in here. It's pretty much the same thing the Gladiator's got, and if you want to set up your 2nd speed, you're going to have to buy a couple of optional parts to make that work, as well as another servo to be able to shift from 1st to 2nd gear. We're not real worried about that right now. Now, other than that, guys, you've got your KMC machete wheels here, which came stock on the Gladiator and several of their models. They seem like they must have got a million of these at the same time because they put them on everything. So that's about it on the box, guys. Let's go ahead and open it up and see what we got inside. All right, I am ready. Let's open this beast up here. Cut our axial seals. I love the axial seals. You know that nobody has been in this stealing any of your parts when it's sealed the way that it is. All right. Well, we got cardboard. What else we got here? Oh, there it is. Wow. I love opening up new RCs. They are just so clean. They smell so good. No scratches. Amazing. Okay, so what do we got here? We have got our DX3 transmitter. There it is. This is exactly the same transmitter they're putting in the Gladiator as well as many other platforms. So I'm very familiar with this. I love the thumb steer on this so that I can actually take my phone when I'm doing some videoing, guys, and I can drive with one hand with this thumb steer. It's awesome. I'm trying to get one of these for my Spectrum DX5C, which they're out of right now, but as soon as they do, I will be getting one of these for that. I love that. Great idea. So let's set that aside over here. What else did we get? Let's pull this off. More cardboard. And get this cardboard out of the way. Wow, that's beautiful. Look at how shiny it is. So we've got our Falcon Wild Peak MT tires on here. They even gave us a full-size spare. Can you believe that? Feels like the foam is pretty soft. I'm thinking we're probably going to end up going with the Proline dual stage in here. That feels really soft, guys. But we're going to run it like this for a while and see what happens. Smooth suspension. Very nice. Maybe a little bit soft. We'll probably stiffen that up some. What else do we get here? They gave us a manual. Looks like a really good one. And we've also got all these parts. Holy cow, guys. I see all kinds of stuff in here. I see helmets and wow, there is a ton of stuff in here. I'm not sure what all is in here, but they give you quite a bit. So let's check this out, guys. Starting at the front here, I noticed they have plastic steering linkage. Now, I'm not really a big fan of that. We'll see how well it holds up, but that's probably going to be one of my first upgrades is either metal or aluminum steering linkage here. Then we move up to our bumper here. This is an awesome bumper, guys. I did notice that the tires stick out quite a bit further than the bumper, so there will be zero approach angle problems when you're going up to that big rock. Your tires are going to hit it first. You're not going to get bound up on your bumper at all. And then look right here. They've got a little LED rock light bar in here. And guys, I've seen this at night. This thing kicks ass. It lights up the world. And then they also gave you two LED rock lights, one on this side and one on this side. So you can kind of see what your tire's doing at night before you roll over it. Now, they didn't give you any rock lights in the rear, but they did give you two red LEDs here to simulate your brake lights. So you can see your car when it's ahead of you, you're behind it at night, or other people can see what you're doing. Believe it or not, this is cool, guys. It came with a full-size spare tire. That is awesome. Not very many rigs out there have full-size spare tires. And I will definitely be replacing the foam in here with the Proline dual stage foam. This is just way too soft. But we're going to give it a run. We're going to see how it does. If you guys notice right here, it has a plastic box which is supposed to simulate the fuel cell. This is way more than a simulation though, guys. This has so many options. You can take this Allen out and open it up. Now it's storage. Now, Axial is telling you that you can put some weight in here to make it a little bit heavier in the rear if you need, but this would also be great for if you wanted to relocate your ESC or your receiver, or maybe you want to put your light control module in here for all your lights. So that is an awesome option. Great box, looks just like a fuel cell. I love it. Now moving on here, you'll see on the bottom you've got all of your plastic control arms here. We will be adding a Reef's anti-sway bar to this, I'm sure, in the rear to try to get rid of some of this bounciness. Now up front here, if you take your clips off right here, and these protective plastic covers, underneath your hood, this is where your battery goes. So you pop this open and you pop this little piece right here open, and this will hold up to a 3S 5500 LiPo. We're going to be putting a 3S 5200 LiPo in here. So you got plenty of room there for that. I think the details on this rig were awesome. I love the fact that they've got a full interior in here, and I mean, if you look at it, you can see the gauges, and this guy here's got a GPS that he's looking at when he's racing, just like the co-driver would have. So you can paint all this up and make it your own. I did notice they've got a Warren winch sticker on the hood and up here. I'm not sure why they did that. There is no Warren winch on here. There's no winch on here. I'm probably not going to put a winch on here. This is a rock racer. So anyway, guys, I don't want to bore you too much with this. Let's put a battery in it and go tear it up. So guys, we went out, we found some sand, we found some gravel, I found some rocks, I found some flat straightaways, some asphalt. We kind of drove it on everything, and I tried to give it as fair a test as I possibly could. My initial thoughts on this platform for this truck is awesome. It's amazing. They did a super job on the geometry and everything, the way it works so well. But I'm very disappointed, I'm bummed that Axial put such crappy parts on here. I know it's an RTR truck, guys, and they got to try to keep the cost down or they won't sell them, but I mean, this is just embarrassing. Look at this front link right here. I can take the tires and flex it completely out. I could break it right now so easily. So when you're out there trying to rock crawl and stuff and you got your tire up against the wall, and you're trying to turn, it doesn't turn. This piece just flexes. So like I said in the beginning, this was kind of chintzy. That's got to go. That's just embarrassing. That should have never been on there. That should have been a stainless steel link. That's really a bad move on Axial's part. That is upsetting. Anyway, let's get past that. Like I told you before, the tires, the foam inside the tires are definitely hindersome. When I was trying to crawl with this, I really needed stiffer foam to be able to get any kind of traction at all. It just kind of wants to twist a little bit. Now, I know this isn't just for crawling. It's for bashing and jumping and kind of what you would do in the King of the Hammers situation, which is a little bit of everything. But it should have some better foam in here. It's just way too soft, guys. And I mean, I understand they put these KMC machete wheels on everything, but they're plastic. I plan on throwing some real power in here, so it's probably going to need some real aluminum wheels. These aren't going to hold up very long, especially if you're jumping and stuff. Now, that takes me to another thing, guys. I was way off when I told you guys, oh, my crawler does like 6 and my basher does like 60. This is like 20, 25. No. This probably does about 8 to 10 miles an hour stock out of the box in first gear. Now, it has a 2-speed transmission, but they didn't give you the servo for it or any of the parts, so obviously it's not set up on our first run. I'm in first gear. It's about 8 to 10, guys. It's not very much at all. I think I was throwing way off because I've seen other guys out there that had these bombers, and they probably have a bigger motor or a brushless system in it, and they were moving along a lot better. Probably 20, 25, like I said. So this is definitely going to need a bigger motor for sure. There's no doubt about it. It's definitely going to need foam in the tires. This thing, this link in the front, this has got to go. And the other thing that was really, that I noticed was kind of upsetting, guys. Oh, by the way, this rear tire back here, it's great, it looks good. This hinders you on anything you try to do. If you're trying to crawl, it gets in the way. If you got to back up, it gets you stuck. If you're just hauling ass down a trail and hitting rocks, it's too heavy, it bounces too much. So this has got to go. That's great for the looks, but let's face it, guys, you're not ever going to need a spare tire on the trail. It's not like you're going to destroy yours so bad you're going to have to carry a spare around with you. And then I plan on replacing the wheels here with different foam and going to better wheels. So my tires and wheels probably aren't going to match the spare that's back here anyway, so why would I even run it? And all it's doing is hindering me and adding more weight to the vehicle. So that's got to go. But before I was going to say that, you have to have a sway bar back here in the rear. It is imperative. I can't believe Axial didn't just throw a plastic one in there or something for you, the cheapest little thing they could. Without a sway bar, this vehicle is almost unusable. It really is. I mean, you go to gas it, and if you're turning or anything, there's so much articulation, it just flips over. And I know that there's not enough foam in the tires too, so once you start to go, you're already smashing the tire and it's just gone. The combination of no sway bar, the tires having very soft foam in them, and a crappy front link for the steering, it really bummed me out because this can be so much more. So in the future, guys, I mean, I'm not getting rid of this truck and I'm not complaining, Axial. I just wish for the money we could have got some better parts on here. But don't worry, I'm going to set this up as a rock racer. I'm going to be doing a lot of that. So this is going to be extreme, and you guys are going to get to see all the good parts that are being put in there that you can't get in an RTR truck because it costs too much for them to put it out. We all understand that. I'm sorry, Axial. I don't mean to be complaining. It's just I had such high hopes for this, and I've seen so many of them run around. I guess they were already upgraded. It needs quite a bit more work to it. But hey, that's what we do. We upgrade RCs. That's right in our name. So no problem, guys. All in all, I think this was a great vehicle. It will probably be, I'll bet you guys $100, this will be my go-to vehicle. Anytime I just want to go out and do something, I'm grabbing this. This is going with me. This will climb, it'll crawl, it'll jump, it'll bash. It goes across the flat land with rocks on it so much easier and doesn't wreck over the other stuff. I mean, that's what this is made for. Like I said, this is a King of the Hammers killer right here. It's one of the winners that this was modeled after. So without further ado, guys, I do really like this truck, and I think with all the upgrades into it, it's going to be a great model. It's already an awesome platform, and it's been around for a while. It's been proven. Plus, they are pretty tough. I did hit a lot of rocks, and I was kind of worried about bending stuff, especially with this link up here. It bounced off it pretty good. Just didn't have very good steering because of the plastic links. Well, guys, until next time, which is right around the corner, I got some good stuff going into this. We're not done with the Gladiator yet, and I just got some parts in for the eRevo 2.0. So once again, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Travis. You're watching Upgraded RC. Peace out.